Chag Sameach, everyone. Tonight is the holiest night of the year, when Jewish families around the world would gather with their loved ones and families and friends for the 3,334th time in Jewish history to recount the story of the miraculous exodus of Egypt. And we begin the Seder with words that we only say on the night of Seder. We say, Kol Duchvin, whoever's hungry, Yesei v'yechel, let him come and eat with us the Passover meal. Whoever's needy, let them join with us. And the question is, why is it that this night we invite everyone to join us around the table? And furthermore, if we really want to invite guests to our table, the time to do that was in the synagogue before we came home. Now we're already seated at the table. What is the point of inviting guests now? And perhaps the answer is that on a deeper level, we're actually inviting ourselves to be present during the Seder. Now that we've seated ourselves around the table, we say, we're all needy, we're all desirous of greater freedom and expansion in our lives. Tonight's the night to be present and engage and listen to the words of the Haggadah. You know, when you go on a plane, they always start with instructions. But most people don't pay attention. They figure, yeah, I know, you inflate your life vest if there's water, but that's not going to happen to me. I don't have to worry about that. So too, we could sit down on the Seder and say, yeah, I know the 4 questions, the salt water, the maror, the charosas, the matzah. But rather, we have to think of it as an opportunity to free ourselves from that which constricts and confines us in our lives. And that's why we begin the Seder night with breaking the middle matzah. And we recount the story over a broken matzah, because the message is we're all broken in one way or another. And we all have to find completeness and freedom in our lives. And tonight's the night to say to ourselves, what confinement did I free myself from over the past year, from last year's Passover? And what confinement and restriction and inhibition do I want to go free from in the coming year? When I say L'Shana Haba, next year in Jerusalem, what Jerusalem do I want to be in the coming year? That I want to break free of the shackles. And that is the meaning of the Seder night. There's a story that was written, a children's story, by Shel Silverstein. It was called A Missing Piece. Shel Silverstein wrote many books that sold millions and millions of copies and translated into dozens of languages. And one of his books is called A Missing Piece. And in it he talks about a round circular object that was missing one piece, a triangular piece. And it slowly rolled around the world looking for the missing wedge. It could only go slowly because it was missing a piece. And because it was going so slowly, it would stop to admire the flowers along the way. It would talk to the insects and the worms. It would play with the butterflies. It would admire the sunrise and the sunset. And one day it discovered the missing wedge. And all excitingly, he put the piece into his circular object. And suddenly he was complete, and he began to roll faster and faster and faster. But suddenly he no longer had time to admire all the beauty around him, and the nature, and the insects, and the worms, and the butterflies, and the sunrises, and the flowers. And so the circular object stopped, removed the wedge, and continued to roll slowly around the world. In our lives, sometimes we're going at such a fast pace. Sometimes we're so smug, we feel so complete, so whole, that we don't stop to really focus on where we're broken and what we need to complete ourselves in life. And so the night of Seder is the night we slow down, we stop, we look around the table at our family and their radiant faces, and we sing Dayenu, and we thank God for all those blessings in our lives. And we look at the past year and say, what have we accomplished going towards greater freedom and living the life that we truly want to live, to our highest ideals, to be able to be the best version of ourselves. And what is the Jerusalem that we want to journey forth in the next year? Dini and I and our entire family wish you a happy and a sweet Passover. May this night, this magical night of Passover, bring us all happiness, freedom. And for our brothers and sisters around the world, and particularly in Ukraine, we'll be praying for them and thinking about them. And may very soon peace reign on earth with the coming of the ultimate and final redemption. Chag Kasher v'Sameach.